and welcome to my 8th devlog for Drone Extreme. So in this devlog I will be covering what I've completed over the last 2 weeks, which would be a total of URP, post-processing, LOD with trees, occlusion culling, sound, visible line, fixed the color map and added speed trees. So for URP, Unity 6 provides a new type of rendering pipeline that improves performance drastically. So if I downloaded it in the package manager here and I applied it to my scene, and you can do this by going to Window, Rendering, Rendering Pipeline, and it will convert all your assets and materials to be built in the render pipeline. And I've also applied the universal asset, which is here, rendering asset, to the terrain. I've also added post-processing. So I added so this is for the lighting in my scene to make it more realistic, essentially. So I changed the temperature, tint. As you can see here, the URP has actually converted this as well for the rendering pipeline to improve performance. But yeah, so I've added the temperature, a bit of tint, saturation, changed around some of the settings to kind of improve the lighting, and this is also applied on the main camera, which the rendering pipeline has also changed. So then, using a new software called SpeedTree for building trees, I use this to essentially export a tree and use it in my Unity. So I've added the trees to the terrain here, these conifer trees, and essentially you can apply a level of detail, LOD. So the further away you are from the tree, the less it will render, and this will improve the overall performance. So as you can see, the closer I get to the trees, the better they look. But to be fair, the further away you get, you don't really realize, but the level of detail is decreasing. And it's also culling the trees, which means getting rid of them after a certain length. This also improves the performance by quite a bit. I have also added occlusion culling, so it only renders what the player can see, essentially. So as you can see, it only renders what the player is looking at on the screen. This is a bit glitchy. I still need to tweak it a bit. As you can see in the scene, it's not perfect. It does work most of the time. Like now, it looks pretty good. But I still need to tweak it a bit to make it a bit better. I have also added sounds to the game. So as you can hear, there's kind of like a forest sound with birds chirping. And I've also added sounds to the checkpoints and the drone. So the drone has a flying and landing sound. The landing sound only plays at the one time. So player audio, and I'm setting the drone flying when I'm flying. So when I move my controller up, it will apply the drone flying to the audio source and put it on loop and play it, and it will dynamically change the pitch of the sound as you fly. So the faster you go, the faster the noise will be, and when you stop flying, it'll apply the drone landing sound, and this won't loop. It'll just play a sound where the propellers are essentially turning off. I'm also increasing the volume by a little bit every time you increase your speed also. So I can show you this. I've also applied this particle effect. So when you hit a checkpoint, it kind of explodes. This is on a loop right now, but when you go through the checkpoints, it just kind of explodes real quick. I have also added in a player guide. So this line that goes around the checkpoints, essentially just guiding the player to each checkpoint. So like if I fly around, you can see each line going through each point. I've also fixed the issue from last week where the terrain layers weren't perfectly on the terrain and weren't being applied by height. This was just a issue where I was looping through the width and not the height for X, and same for Y. So that was a nice and easy fix. So snow on the top of the mountains, then rock, then grass, and then dirt at the bottom. Okay, so thank you for watching this devlog, and see you in the next one. Thanks.